Hello, my name is Michelle McCauley. I'm a music educator, Native American music educator, and today I want to talk about Thanksgiving. And I'm going to give you 7 things that I've kind of been seeing that are pretty much cultural appropriation that educators should be, especially these days, you should be pretty culturally responsive and know to stay away from these. However, I've been talking to some colleagues and they've been getting questions about things, how we should be teaching Thanksgiving. So I'm going to jump right into the list. So I'm an educator and I'm wanting to educate other educators at this point right now. So if you are an educator making lesson plans for Thanksgiving, number one thing that just should have stopped and you should not be doing is dressing up as pilgrims and Indians, especially in kinder, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, you name it. Dressing up as pilgrims and Indians just kind of caters to the overly romanticized version of history that the pilgrims and the natives actually helped each other, when that is not historically what happened at all. So educators really should not be having their students dressing up as pilgrims and Indians. So that's number one, right? Please leave that out of your lesson plans. And if you're a school administrator, you should definitely not be backing any of this up. Anyways, number 2, making headdresses and headbands. This still goes on in our country today. It still goes on in schools. As a Native American person myself who does make regalia, we do not wear costumes, and a lot of our beadwork, a lot of our leather work, or whatever it is that we're doing takes weeks, months at a time. It is also a sense of identity and a sense of pride. It is simply not taking a piece of construction paper, gluing it together, making whatever designs are on there, coloring. This is not okay. And if the educator or administrator tells you, but it's a fun way that the kids can get into honoring culture, that is not honoring, right? That's a cultural appropriation, making something seem so simple, and it's also dressing up again as somebody's culture. That's not okay. Creating Native American names. This is also not an activity that should make its way into the classroom, because when you're just trying to create and make up names, you're not making up names of any real importance other than some activity, and most of the time the educator does not even know, has never even been in Native culture. They don't know how symbolic the names could be. They don't know if there's a ceremony actually to give names away and things like that. So those are not activities for the classroom. That is not being culturally sensitive. That is actually, again, going along with the romanticization of Native Americans. And if you have no relationship ties, you have zero knowledge of ever being to an actual tribe, that is actually very ignorant, and it has no place in education. Creating spirit animals. Again, going back to the educator who decides that this is a good thing. And there are websites out there for teachers that have lesson plans and created templates and worksheets with these things. If you are an educator watching me right now, avoid this. Please avoid these things. This is all a part of cultural appropriation. Creating spirit animals, that is not necessarily a thing with all tribes. That is something that has been so culturally appropriated by people just saying things on TV, in the movies. It's just become something like just something popular to say. Maybe new age people are also piggybacking off of this and saying this. So please, no spirit animals. No, just keep that out of your classroom. Singing songs in preschool K 1, 2, 3, such as 10 Little Indians. No, there's some history out there of that song in conjunction with another song. That is just not okay. Singing Land of the Silver Birch, canoe song. Please stay away from these songs as well. They just go along with the Hollywood stereotype of what they think Native American music sounds like, perpetuates the stereotype even more, and to younger children, you're actually affecting what their thought processes will be of contemporary Native American culture, or anything real or authentic to Native American culture. So let's keep be very mindful of what songs you decide to sing, and definitely look up the history of that song. And some songs that you may find in schools may say, this is a Native American song, and you'll come to find when you look it up and you actually dig into the history of it, it isn't really. So refrain from using songs that are usually could be written by somebody who's not even from a tribe. Creating bows and arrows, coloring things that are stereotypically associated with Native American tribes. Please don't incorporate that into your classroom. And this is one of the very few holidays, or the only holiday, that encourages kids to dress up as another culture within schools. That is just culturally appropriation all around. And as educational institutions within this country, it is the educator's responsibility, especially school leaders, school boards, it is your responsibility to make sure that the education that is in the schools is not perpetuating stereotypes or continuing to perpetuate stereotypes. And if we are in the practice of educating, this is miseducating, right? Having people dress up as pilgrims, having people dress up as Indians, and have the entire school dress up. It's not cute, it's not funny, and it's not a real reflection or representation of USA history, especially for Native American people who are still alive. It puts us in the past, says our clothes and everything that we wear, they're simple. It just goes right along with the cultural narrative, the colonialist cultural narrative. So there are a couple of websites that, if you are an educator, that you could go to if you want more information. I would actually encourage you just to put in culturally responsive teaching of Thanksgiving into a Google search, but you can definitely go to the Teaching Tolerance website. There is an article there called Teaching Thanksgiving in a Social Responsible Way by a woman named Amanda Morris. All right, it's good to, I guess, read articles, but I would more so, I really err on the side of listening to Native American people. Since I am one from the tribal, I listen to the people, because academia and writers don't always include a Native perspective, and that's on purpose. That's not by accident. A lot of people, well, where is it written down? Where's the academic journal? There isn't one per se, and that is for a specific reason, right? Who allows things to get published? So this is an article that you can read, again, to the website Teaching Tolerance. Another website that you could go to is called the Open Book Blog, a blog on race, diversity, education, and children's books. And they have an article called A Culturally Responsive Approach to Discussing Thanksgiving in the Classroom. On that website, also on that page, you will find age categories, because this is also very important if you are an educator in understanding how race works, discrimination works, policies. Want you to understand the development of at what age level are kids able to have discussions such as these, and appropriately. It'll help you a lot better. So there are some links that say kindergarten, what can be discussed in kindergarten, what is culturally responsive teaching. Then it goes into first grade, second grade, third grade, and it lists the grades on up. But please be very mindful of what you say and teach about Thanksgiving. Nothing is as damaging as telling children that having them dress up pilgrims and Indians did get along. That is not the real story. And if it's not age appropriate for the real story, since kids are so tiny in kinder and first grade, other ideas might be just to focus on the different ways that different cultures celebrate Thanksgiving with different dishes and things like that. So keep all of those in mind. If you have any questions, you can comment below on my video. I will try to answer them as soon as possible. And one of the main excuses I hear, I don't have time to learn history, I don't have time. There's podcasts on this. You can download audiobooks. You can watch YouTube, go to the websites that I instructed you to go to. You could do this 5-10 minutes each day. There's always learning. As an educator, you should always be learning more about yourself and the world around you, and how your students, where do they come from? There's never a stopping point, right? Your degree, there isn't any classes that teach you in higher education on how to teach Thanksgiving to the variety of students that you have in your class, because that's unique to your situation. So please be mindful about Thanksgiving. Educate yourself now so you will be prepared on what you want to say, on how you can culturally responsibly educate your students, at whatever grade level they may be. Thank you. Pijat you.